Bienvenidos.
Wanye.
Namaste,
Bienvenue.
Assalamu alaikum.
and welcome to the first ever episode of TBrief.
This is the show where we deliver concise weekly news briefs by teens for teens. And just in case you're wondering, no, we're not affiliated with Kids Bop.
Vikings for kids.
My name is Nidruv.
My name is Rishi.
My name is Jeremiah.
A rundown of last week's biggest news stories. Britain mourns the death of Queen Elizabeth II at 96 years old. Apple reveals the iPhone 14 and the new AirPods Pro 2. NBA2K23 releases. The official NFL season just started. And lastly, new Marvel and Disney projects were announced at Saturday's D23. More on these topics and more right after this.
As y'all might have heard last Thursday afternoon, Queen Elizabeth II passed away at her Scottish property at the age of 96. BBC writes that King Charles's wife, Prince Harry, William, and his brother have all gathered at the Scottish estate. Britain, Australia, and the other British colonies mourn the death of the Queen. Some of Gen Z made controversial memes about the Queen's death. Now, let's hear about the latest news in tech from Rishi.
This week in tech, Apple has showed us the brand new iPhone 14.
Let's take a look at the new iPhone.
The popular 6.1-inch size of iPhone 14 is joined by the new, larger 6.7-inch size of iPhone 14 Plus.
There's 4 variants to it: the normal, the Plus, the Pro, and the Pro Max. These phones have a revolutionary new display, but more specifically, new notch, as you can see here. This notch will move around to show different pieces of data. However, while the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max will be having Apple's latest chip, the A16 Bionic, iPhone 14 normal and iPhone 14 Plus will still have last year's computer chip, the A15. That means you're paying full price for the last year's tech.
I mean, it's all right. Like, overrated.
The normal iPhone 14 will release for $800, the Plus $900, the Pro $1,000, and the Pro Max for $1,100. In the same event, Apple also released new AirPods and a brand new Series Watch. Now, let's take it to Nidru for pop culture.
Thanks, Rishi. You know what? Last week was a pretty big week for us Marvel fans. That's me. Disney and Marvel revealed a plethora of new projects along with some trailers for some upcoming projects at Disney's D23 event last Saturday, including the nearly 30-year long-awaited sequel, Hocus Pocus 2, Marvel's Secret Invasion, and Marvel's new black and white Halloween special, Werewolf by Night. Marvel unveiled the lineup for their Thunderbolts, which is basically Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. Star Wars revealed the new trailer for The Mandalorian Season 3, which featured everyone's favorite green baby. The 5th Indiana Jones movie was announced starring Harrison Ford, who said the movie will, quote, kick your butt, is the nicest way to put what he said.
Language.
Disney unveiled the reboots for Percy Jackson and The Little Mermaid, starring Hailey Bailey, along with their respective trilogies.
Wish I could be part of that world.
Episodes 1 through 4 of the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, released this past week. Contrary to how most prequels turned out,
No, Mrs. Stay. Missy got Jaja Binks. Missy, your humble servant.
most of the fans absolutely loved it, and some critics, like The Guardian, called it a roaring success. Cobra Kai Season 5 just dropped on Netflix, with all the action and drama you'd expect from the teens in the show,
We're all friends now. We're not friends. We never will be.
and from the grown-ups.
Adult classes are on Wednesday. We're not here to take a lesson. We're here to teach you one.
The Emmys occurred on Monday. Some of the biggest highlights were Squid Game winning 5 Emmys, Ted Lasso, Succession, and The White Lotus also receiving some high awards too. Lizzo received an Emmy for her Amazon show, The Big Girls. And lastly, keeping it undercover, Zendaya.
I keep it undercover.
Won an Emmy for Best Actress in a Drama Series for Euphoria, which is every American teenage girl's favorite show. Because, actually, guys, it's the best show out there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know, totally. Yeah, I know,
And lastly, Spotify released their list of the most streamed songs of the summer for 2022. First was probably, as we guessed it, Harry Styles' As It Was. Second was by Kate Bush. And third was Me Porto Bonito by Bad Bunny. That's all for me. Let's hand it over to Jeremiah.
For video games and sports news, and starting us off with games, an announcement for the Captain America and Black Panther game just came out, and we are waiting for an official release date. From the looks of it, it takes place during World War II, and from what we know, Black Panther and Captain America switched places during the time period. And another big game just dropped this Friday, known as 2K23. I know all you sweats were ready for it to come out and started playing it to the morning hours just to stay on that grind.
What did he say?
Now, let's talk about real sports. For football, 14 games were played and the Chiefs by far had the best run of that Sunday, scoring a whopping 44 points. Soccer, or football, resumes after the Queen's death. Out of respect, they have postponed the most recent games to mourn the Queen's death. And for our final sport, US Open, or tennis. As Serena Williams gives her final goodbyes, a new light shines on Carlos Alcaraz, at just 19 years old, winning the US Open.
If you watched all the way through, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's our first video uploading onto this channel, and it would really mean a lot if you leave a comment below giving us some feedback. Because obviously, as I already told you, it's our first video, and we would really like some suggestions on what videos to make, what types, what content do you want to see more of, what needs to be improved, like if our mic quality or video quality is not that great. Yeah, just leave a comment below. And if you like the video, then obviously like it, and if you want to see more, then just subscribe. We'll see you next week, and adios.